workloads. Okay, division of workloads. And we also talk about negotiation. So it is important, right? It is important to have a negotiation. Why do you think that negotiation is important?
Because we cannot do anything after the requirement or some deal. So we, in case we cannot do, we have to negotiate with the person to accept the news, our solution, something.
Yes. So it is important. It is important. Negotiations are important in businesses, especially in businesses, because you have to agree, right? Mutually agree. Not just the one party, not only one party should agree, but both parties. All of the parties should agree on the project, right? On the cost of project, on the deadline. So you have to negotiate. So important. Important is that both of the parties, so party A and party B, should agree on things, especially in business. So you have to agree when you're going to start the project and where the span, the time, and also the cost, and also if there is like collaboration, like you need their assistance, so you also have to agree with that. So how important, or how negotiation can harm the business, like how can negotiations help or harm a business? Help or harm a business?
Help, help a business.
Mm-hmm. So how is it? How does it affect? How does it affect negotiations? How does negotiations affect the business?
Negotiation help us to achieve the target of the business.
Yes, help us to achieve, right? The target of the business or of the project. So you need negotiations so that you will be able to achieve the target, what you want, what the other party wants, and what your company wants, right? And how does it harm a business?
Could you explain the harm?
Harm meaning how can negotiation like destroy a business?
Destroy. If negotiate in the bad way, cannot get the same agreement, so it makes the cannot achieve the goal.
They cannot meet the
Meet
agreement, right? If
yeah.
the parties don't agree, if both parties don't agree with each other with the negotiation, so the target will not be met, right? Will not be met. Yes. If both parties do not agree, so negotiations will be useless. No point of negotiation. Sometimes there is also like negative way of negotiation. Some people use it negatively in a bad way to negotiate, like using their authority, their power, okay, to negotiate. So some people use it in a negative way. And what are the good qualities? What are some qualities of a good negotiator?
I think if we do the negotiate with customer, we have to give them the cost and the reason why we have to do like this. What is the advantage? What is the uh, like a pro and con to like make convince them to agree with us or uh, totally agree with us without the conflict, some conflict. Yeah.
Yes. So a good negotiator have should have a quality of weighing things. So a good negotiator should have a good quality in weighing things, like giving the SWOT analysis first, right? The pros and cons.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, you have to let them think of what are the strengths, the weakness, the pros and cons, the negative and the positive and the negative, and what are the opportunities and the threats in the future, so that your uh so that the other party would like they would analyze the good things and also the negative side of the project or the proposal. So a good negotiator should know how to like get the interest, right? Get the interest of the other party so that um like he has or she has to present a good presentation, right? A good presentation so that the other party will be interested of the project. So we have here words like negotiate, parties, and what else we have here? Back down. What do you mean by back down?
I guess it's not agree with the uh, proposal or negotiate.
Yes. If if the other party if the other party reject the suggestions or the proposal, so sometimes you need to back down or surrender your suggestion. So you don't need to like move forward, or um you don't need to insist or force the other party to agree with you. But the other party agrees if the other party agrees with your proposal or your suggestion, so you could close a deal. So meaning the negotiation is successful. So we talked about last week, we talked about like mutually acceptable, okay, and compromise in conflicting interests. What do you mean by conflicting interest again?
Mm-hmm. Like a personal interest
Mm-hmm.
like an individual opinion.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Yes. Conflicting interest, these are the interests that like your personal interest, like personal interest and the other interest, like business interest. So there is a conflict between different interests. Negotiations need not be confrontational. So when we say confrontational, it means that it's not like it's not friendly confrontation. Confrontational meaning you need this is like a negotiation, not negotiation, but a talk, negative, like an argument. So negotiation could be bad if we argue with another party, with the other party. So confrontational meaning this is argument, talking, like you argue with the other party. So don't try to win a negotiation. If you treat it as a contest, you will create a hostile environment. Hostile environment, what do you mean by hostile environment? Do you have any idea about hostile environment? Hostile, it's like unfriendly environment. So if you try to negotiate, like you want the other party to agree with your proposal, with your suggestion, with your project, so you don't need to argue that, okay, you have to agree with my suggestion because this is the best suggestion. So it would make the other party feel uncomfortable, and you will make the environment unfriendly, like hostile environment or atmosphere. So respect the other. So this is the keyword here, to respect the other party or the other person and try to understand his or her needs. So if you do business, or if we do negotiations, we always ask the question, what does the company need? What does the company need? What does the company need, or what does this person need? So what is the reason? What is the purpose of the project? This way you can create a spirit of cooperation. So there is a cooperation, collaboration between two parties. So you can ask the company what they need, and also you can give them like many options or many plans, many suggestions as you can. So sometimes the other party may reject your suggestions. They may not agree on your suggestions, and you need to anticipate this. Anticipate is you already know, you already or accept the fact that not all suggestions will be okay to the other party. So a negotiation is a trade-off. What do you mean by a trade-off? Do you have any idea what a trade-off means?
I'm not sure, like same as breakdown meaning.
Okay. Trade-off, it's like a compromise. You compromise something, like you have to exchange something valuable. Okay, like here, for example, in a trade-off, an example of a trade-off is in a situation like you have to give up something, like, okay, I will make the product cheaper. Okay, this is the trade-off. So I will make the product cheaper in exchange that in exchange to, if you are going to buy like in bulk, right? Many buy, if you're going to buy buy in bulk, meaning you will buy in a number. So you are going to buy like a wholesale, like into a wholesale. So you will buy like 6 pieces of this product, and then you will get a cheaper price. So that is a trade-off. You exchange some valuable things to the other party. So, or sometimes you will need to back down, meaning you have to surrender. So trade-off is like an exchange into something. Back down is just like, okay, I surrender. I don't agree. I don't agree with that trade-off. So you just have to stop the negotiation if you don't agree with the trade-off. So prepare alternative options in case your preferred solution is unacceptable. Finally, don't negotiate if you are tired or stressed. So you have to be emotionally prepared, mentally prepared, and physically prepared, because you will never close the deal when negotiations are too intense. Intense if both parties are like they already get angry, right? They argue, they don't listen. So you have to stop. Then you can just reschedule. You can just reschedule the negotiation anytime if you are already ready. So we have here the word statements. So what is the closest meaning to the underlined word here? Like, just stop demanding what you want. So when you say just stop demanding what you want, so this means that you anticipate, you back down, you close the door, close the deal.
Back down.
Yes. When you say you stop demanding, it means you have to back down, surrender. Next is number 2.
The parties are very eager to argue with each other. Intense. Your answer is
intense. So if both parties are willing, eager, willing to argue with each other, meaning this is like an unfriendly environment that they need to argue. So this is confrontational. Yes. If they are willing to argue, that is confrontational. Number 3.
Mr. Bao will offer a deal, so try to think about it beforehand. Negotiation number 3.
Letter C. Mr. Brown will offer a deal, so try to think about it beforehand. So try to think about it beforehand if it will be like if Mr. Brown or the other parties will agree or not to the deal. So try to think about it beforehand. So you have to think about it beforehand. That is anticipate. If you're going to think about it beforehand, so sometimes the other parties will not agree, or will not agree to your suggestion. So you have to find another solution, find another suggestion. Next, number 4.
Try to discuss and change the contract term. Or negotiation.
Yes, this one is negotiate. So that is
Negotiate.
Yes, that is why in contracts, if we prepare contract, we always say to the other party, read the contract terms. If you agree, then you can sign. But if you want to change something, right? If you don't like something and you want to change it, then feel free to let us know, right? So that is why it is important to like have a meeting first before you agree to the contract, right? So you have to discuss and change, negotiate. Number 5.
Give up something in order to get something more. It will have to a trade-off.
Yes, a trade-off. So a trade-off is something you give up in order to get something more important. Okay. So we have here seven words and its definition. So letter A is
Agreement mutually acceptable.
mutually acceptable is the agreement. Okay, letter A.
Yeah. It's correct.
Letter B is
Being competitive, and instance.
intense. Letter B.
Yeah. A person or group in negotiation. Party 7.
Yes.
Being surprised to both sides of negotiation. Number 5, deal.
Okay, D.
Solution in which both sides of negotiation with compromise.
Letter E is
Compromise.
yes.
Why if a point of negotiation with both sides consider the first hostile.
Still hostile. Okay.
Hostile. And the last one being extremely stressful, conflicting interest.
Okay, so let us check. So we have here a point of negotiation which both sides consider very important. So both of the negotiations are very important. So it's you have like you have to think of it like, okay, these negotiations are important. These suggestions are both important. So you are now thinking of what you are going to choose first. What are you going to choose first? Where is more, which is more important? So there is a conflicting interest there. If you want, I want this negotiation, but I also like this. So there is a conflict. There is a conflict between points, between suggestions. So yes, this is letter F is conflicting interests. Being extremely stressful, this is extreme. So this is also intense. Okay, intense meaning extreme. So there is or an extreme stressful environment. Hostile is being competitive and eager to argue. It's like confrontational, hostile, unfriendly environment. So if hostile, in a hostile way, so if you argue with the other party, if you confrontational, it could create a hostile environment. So that is the difference between hostile, intense, and conflicting interest. So if you negotiate, and then your colleague asked you how the negotiation was, so you can ask them, how is the negotiation with Mr.? So how is the negotiation with Mr. Going? And then if your colleague would say, yes, we closed the deal. Or you can say, nobody agreed. The other party was not happy about the suggestion, then they need to have like another time, another meeting. So think of it from their point of view. So if the other party don't or doesn't agree with your suggestion, so you have to think of it from their point of view. So when you say point of view, so you have to place yourself in their points, in their place. So you have to think, will this project be helpful to their company or no? And then how would that help us? So you have to ask, how would that help us? How would the suggestion, how would the negotiation help us? How would the project help us? So you can use these statements, this language. So we have, so you can also anticipate problems, right? You can also anticipate problems when you negotiate. So you anticipate, you think beforehand. You have to think beforehand the possible problems, okay, the possible disagreement of the other party. And also, if the other party doesn't agree, you can offer a compromise. You have to offer a compromise, a trade-off, if they don't agree. So you have to, first thing is anticipate the problems, anticipate the problems or issues that will be raised during negotiation. Next is you have to compromise, offer a compromise. Yes. So you have to offer a compromise to the other party. So sometimes you have to like back down, and you just have to back down and surrender, give up, if the other party doesn't agree with you, and find another solution. You have to back down, do not insist, do not argue with the other party. So if they don't agree, if really they don't agree, they don't want to compromise, you have just to back down and then find another solution or find another suggestion that you think would benefit both parties. And then if they will agree on that, then you have to close a deal. So about customer service. Customer service. Have you experienced before calling a customer service?
Yes.
Have you experienced
Yes.
before?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
and what was your experience?
Actually, not customer service, like a real customer service.
Oh,
That's some of
yeah.
some part of my task like that, because after we go live the system, we have to support the customer via phone or via mail or some channel that they contact you like a
Oh.
customer service. Yes, after we tell the
Oh, so you
the
offer like after the project, so you offer a customer service, right? So you give
yes,
like
yes.
you allow the customer, your clients, to give some feedbacks,
Mm-hmm.
right? To give some feedbacks to your project. And what is the challenge? What is the challenge of, or what do you think is the challenge of being of working or of being in a customer service?
The challenge is how to make the customer satisfaction and can support or serve their requirements. Yes.
Yes. So it is important, right? To like the customer satisfaction. The customer satisfaction is important. So it is very challenging on how to make your clients, how to make your customers feel satisfied of the product. So that is the challenge there. And have you had a bad experience? Have you had a bad experience with customer service before? So you as a customer, have you tried calling a customer service before? Have you
Yes.
experienced?
Uh, yes. Sometimes I got the best experience. Customer don't listen. I and talk too much. Don't listen our solution or question
Okay.
and they like angry.
Yes,
Yes.
sometimes, yes, we cannot like hold or control the customer, especially if the customer, our clients are like are angry, right? Cannot control their emotion. So they don't listen. Yes, they don't listen to you if whatever you say. So they always interrupt and they don't listen, right? They don't listen and accept any suggestion. Okay, so that is how how other customers, how other clients call the customer service. And how do you deal with it? How do you deal with it?